Hello, hi, hey, hello. So today we have a lot of exciting things planned. I'm excited to like talk to you guys today about the topic that we are, my phone just turned on, so that's fun. Something I've been thinking about for a while. Usually when I do, maybe I won't call this a My Thoughts, because usually my Thoughts videos I try to keep on like current events, and I don't know if I would say this is like a current event. It's more of like a rant against a person. So I don't know what this is gonna be called, but I guess you'll know when you watch this. So today I want to talk about Tana Mongeau. I'm gonna say her name right. Her name's Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau is a 20-year-old YouTuber. She used to live in Nevada, now she lives in California. She's living that LA life. I'm gonna use this new Makeup Revolution full coverage foundation that just came out. They came in stores and I was like, oh hell yeah, because I've actually been waiting to buy it to come in store because I don't want to pay for shipping. This isn't like a review of this, I just wanted to mention that I was using that. So, what's been even going on with her? So, I made a video probably like about a year ago. It was probably a little less than a year ago, talking about Tana Mongeau, and some of the things I say in that video I am going to be not repeating, but I am going to be talking about in this video too. Basically, a couple of new things have been happening, and honestly, I feel like after the Tanacon debacle, which we'll touch on, I guess, people have kind of been just like giving Tana Mongeau somewhat of a pass, and I don't really like that. So I want to talk about her because I have a few qualms. This is the problem with Tana for me, is that I did like her when I first found her. Like, I thought she was really funny. This was before she like actively was promoting drugs. So I liked her a lot more, but I did like her. I thought she was funny. I thought her story times were funny. She was immature and like whatever, but I didn't feel like a lot of what she was doing was particularly damaging, if that's a good enough word. Like, I didn't feel like anything she was doing was like hurting anybody. She was just kind of a mess, but it was like okay, you know what I mean? So then the whole racism scandal happened. There's so many videos on that. I'm not really going to touch on that because I do feel like it's been talked about and I agree with what everyone's saying about that. What I more want to focus on is kind of the events since Tanacon. I did do a video on Tanacon where I kind of gave my opinion, and I don't really think anyone needs a recap because they know what that is. But basically, so much stuff has happened since then. And every time something happened, I was upset about it, but I was like, this doesn't really warrant like a whole video. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really feel like it warranted a video to be made. But now it just kind of feels like all of this stuff has really piled up, and now I feel like it's time to just talk about everything. So we're just gonna do a little mini rant recap. So let's start with Mac Miller, the situation with Mac Miller. This is a really touchy subject that I'm about to talk about, and I don't really want to go too in depth into with it because it's not really my place. It's not really my place to say what her relationship with him was. Do I have my assumptions about her and about that relationship? Yes. Is it my business what it was? No, it's absolutely not my business what the relationship was. But the way that, okay, so, and my problem with the Mac Miller situation goes beyond just like that post she made where she made it all about herself and tried to make it into this like, are they dating? Were they dating? Type of situation. It wasn't even that initial post that pissed me off. I mean, it did, don't get me wrong, but what's pissed me off is the aftermath from that situation, and that's been what's so frustrating for me. So I know a lot of people who have overdosed. Like, it's so crappy when somebody you care about dies. It sucks. And I can almost understand, not even understand, but I can almost like empathize with the fact that if what she's saying is true and she truly was like so in love with him and it was this whole thing and she was just absolutely like gobsmacked.
I don't know why you said gobsmacked, but
absolutely just like torn by his death, had, you know, all this. Like, I can understand posting the initial thing she posted, having it be confusing, not really caring if it was confusing, not really caring. Like, I can understand that mentality. What I can't understand, and what has been bothering me for the past few months, is every single time she does an interview about it. Because I watched her interview with, what's his name, No Jumper, I think it is, or Adam22 or something. Watched her I don't know if they're two different people or what, but I watched her interview with him, and she still still will not address their relationship or their situation. She still will not say what is going on, and it still is and I wouldn't even care. It's like, honestly, do you, it's your life, your privacy, your situation, whatever. But she made it about her. She made somebody's overdose about her. And now she even made a whole video about it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I found it really boring. But from what I saw after the part she talked about, she didn't really give any answers there either. She's not given any answers on like what was going on with them. So it's frustrating because it's like, you did this thing that seems very attention seeking. And I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt in thinking that it's not attention seeking. But then at every single opportunity you are given the chance to clear up this whole thing and make this whole thing a little bit better, you refuse to do it. So now I'm just kind of like, that's just been frustrating. I don't know. Something about taking somebody's life and turning it into like a pawn for attention really irks me and grosses me out. So I haven't been appreciative of that. That was thing one that I was like, what are you doing, girl? Like, why are you doing this? So then she was pretty quiet for a while and everything was kind of calm on her end. Like, she was posting and it was just whatever. Like, she was doing whatever. Still promoting drug use to minors, still doing really shady stuff, still not doing the promises she promised people who went to Tanacon, but like, whatever, okay? So then we get to Halloween and she does her Halloween video, which I guess is like a thing she does, but I've never remembered seeing a Halloween video from her before, but like, whatever. She did the first Halloween costume I saw her do was like Slutty David Dobrik, which, to be perfectly honest, like, I don't know. I guess she thinks she's like a comedian and she just thinks it's funny, but like, I would feel so weird doing something like that to a person I see at like events. Like, I don't know. That's just me thing, but whatever. Then girl took it real far and decided she wanted to be sexy JoJo Siwa. If you guys don't know who JoJo Siwa is, she's like the little girl from Dance Moms. She has like a bunch of songs. There's one that's like really catchy that I actually, I'm like, okay, JoJo. It's like,
I'ma come back like a boomerang.
like, I don't know, I think that one's really cute. I don't know. She's a kid basically. She's 15 years old, 15-year-old girl, and her whole brand is very, very family friendly. The opposite of Tana Mongeau is JoJo Siwa. Like, she's very family friendly. She's all over Target. I can't walk into a single Target without seeing her face on something. She has like a bow line. This girl is like a lot, okay? Like, she's very famous. Basically, and I know there's been some like criticism of JoJo Siwa recently on the internet. People are like hating on her because of her hairline or something. I think she's fine. Like, she's a 15-year-old who's a millionaire and she's like selling her brand. Like, more power to you. Honestly, I think of her as like a Disney kid. Like, you're trying to tell me Miley Cyrus was like actually like Hannah Montana? No. She's just having a brand. It's like, there's nothing wrong with her. Like, I actually don't mind her. The thing that's like, this is a totally random topic, but the thing that's been detrimental to YouTube, I think, is that, and what sucks about it, is that you have kids like JoJo Siwa and you have adults reacting to her content, but her content is not for you. Her content is for 6-year-olds. Like, that's who her content is for. Children watch YouTube. The biggest pet peeve I've had lately with JoJo Siwa is like people watching, this is totally not related to Tana Mongeau, but people watching her video and being like, well, I don't understand. She talks so fast. Why is she pouring juice on her head? Why is she so stupid? Look at her hairline. And it's like, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. It's not for you. And I think you almost see the opposite problem with people like Tana Mongeau, where I watch her content and I get it, but I'm not her demographic. Her demographic is 14-year-olds, is 13-year-olds, is 12-year-olds, but they shouldn't be watching that because it's not exactly age appropriate. I digress. So she did this like sexy which I hate even saying the word sexy JoJo Siwa. It really makes me uncomfortable. She did this JoJo Siwa costume where she was wearing like a bra and a tutu and like, I don't even know. And she tagged JoJo Siwa and she called herself like Ho Ho Siwa, I think it was. And my initial reaction was just like, why? Like, what is the point of that? Like, it just like seemed so, at first I thought I was like lame. I was like, maybe I'm just not hip with the kids. Maybe this is what the kids are doing. Then I was like, no, the kids shouldn't be doing this because that would be sexualizing a child. And that's pretty gross. I hate that. She like put out this apology about it. And the other thing I was really surprised by about that was that Shane Dawson like retweeted that. And he had it retweeted for a while and was like trying to kind of argue with people who were saying how problematic that was. It just is like kind of gross. Like, why would you fetishize a kid? You know what I mean? 99% sure that that wasn't Tana Mongeau's intention, but I'm 100% sure that her intention was to get attention. So it's like, you were willing to do something you knew was controversial. Because why does she do anything? You know what I mean? You knew it would be controversial and you just kind of did it anyway because you didn't really care. You wanted to be like the fun, edgy girl who would never even think of that. There's so many people who are actively, especially in like today's climate, like it's just really tone deaf. And I guess, no, but I do expect her. The thing about Tana that's been bothering me lately, because we're going to get into the last thing that really bothered me, and that's like a whole thing. But the thing that consistently bothers me about Tana Mongeau is that she keeps getting this pass. I'm gonna do my eyebrows really quick and then I'll tell you guys. The thing that bothers me so much about the Tana Mongeau thing, and the thing that ultimately made me decide to make the video about it, was the fact that I feel like the constant thing with Tana is like, well, it's Tana, what do you expect? What do you expect? It's just Tana. Oh, she is constantly late to all of her meetings and is constantly unprofessional when she does collabs with other people and is constantly promoting drugs and promoting sites and doing brand deals with really unethical businesses. Oh, it's just Tana. What do you expect? The moment that you stop holding somebody accountable, especially somebody who has like 3.8 million subscribers that are mainly made up of children that she has a very large influence over, the moment you start saying like, oh, well, that's just her, and you start accepting that, and you start accepting the fact that she is so problematic as it just being, oh, it's just Tana, that's when the problems actually start. Like, we think it maybe she's doing some shady stuff now. That's when like real bad stuff happens. And the other thing too is people are like, well, it's just her opinion, like let her live her life, whatever. I have said it before. I have literally no problem with Tana Mongeau doing drugs and doing crazy stuff. I have no problem with all of that, except she's promoting it on her very large platform. She's promoting it to children. She is telling children that this is how you be cool. Because all of those kids, have you ever read through her comment section on her tweets? They're like obsessed with her. Like, they are so obsessed with her. They think she is like the coolest person on the planet. They really do. And honestly, I can't even blame them, because I look at the people who I was like looking up to when I was like 14, and it was like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato when she was going through her like edgy phase. I was looking up to all of those people, and when they started doing edgier things, I wanted to do edgier things. Like, and this is why I think that she doesn't understand. It's like when Miley Cyrus got that, probably showing my age a lot right now, but like when Miley Cyrus, before she was like bangers, before all of that stuff, when she got her first tattoo that was like a dream catcher on her ribs, I was like, I told my mom, I was like, I want to get a dream catcher on my ribs. I was like, I want to get Miley Cyrus tattoos. Like when Demi Lovato dyed her hair black, I was like, I should dye my hair black and be edgy and cool like them. It's normal to look up to people who are in the limelight. But the difference with Tana is that she wants all the benefits of having these super young fans and having people look up to her. She wants all of the benefits from that, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. And that's why I think we need to stop the narrative of, oh, well, it's just Tana. We need to hold this girl accountable. She's obviously not going anywhere. She's obviously staying right where she is. She's gonna keep creating content. And I don't think she's gonna stop doing these really nasty, unproductive, bad things and being this role model that's not a role model. Like, I'm so sorry. There is not a 14-year-old on the planet that should be doing what Tana Mongeau is doing. Like, it should, and it's not even about, because I know people are gonna be like, I literally don't care about the way that she talks about sexuality. I actually appreciate it, because I think in a world right now where women are so shamed for like having being sexual beings or whatever, even though it's completely a part of human nature, I actually endorse that she is herself in that respect. Like, I endorse the clothing and all of that. I know it's too much for some people. For me, it's like that part doesn't bother me. The clothing and the sex, that doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is the drugs. The drugs. The driving while on drugs. The newest thing she did the other day, which was promoting an app that is essentially a plagiarism app. It's like where you pay for somebody to write your papers. It's something like that. It's an app that has gotten in trouble before, and I thought they got shut down because they kind of disappeared from YouTube, but they're apparently back because Tana is supporting them. And for some reason, I saw that on Twitter. I saw her post this little message about Edgy Birdie and her supporting it, and I saw that And something in me just snapped because it felt like enough is enough. You're really gonna sit there and promote something that you know could get somebody kicked out of school, especially in college. But if you're in college, you really should be knowing better not to use stuff like that because you're gonna get expelled. Like, if you're, just as a disclaimer, don't do that in college because you're gonna get expelled. Like, that's like the #1 thing in America is like academic honesty. But even in most high schools now, there are severe punishments for plagiarizing because you shouldn't plagiarize to begin with. I could go on a tangent about plagiarism because I have some strong opinions about that and feelings, but I'm not going to because that's not what this is about. To see her promoting that to her young audience and to see her blatant disregard for her fans, the biggest thing I see from Tana's like stan accounts is like, say whatever you want about Tana, but she loves her fans. She doesn't give a crap about her fans. You know what she sees her fans as? Dollar signs. That's how all of these influencers that are manipulating children, that's literally how they see their fans. They see them as dollar signs. That's what they see them as. Logan Paul, he sees you as a dollar sign. He sees you as a merch sale. Tana Mongeau literally doesn't care about these children. She doesn't, because if she cared at all about these kids, if she gave even an iota of, I'm trying really hard not to swear on this channel, if she gave anything, if she had anything, she wouldn't be doing what she's doing. She doesn't care about these kids. Promoting a website that charges children to probably get in trouble in school is one of the grossest abusive influence I have ever seen. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, it's Tana Mongeau, so what do you expect? I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep calling this girl out until she does better because I feel like she could. I feel like with that amount of influence, it could just do so much good, so much good. You want people to emulate you because you're so cool. Go to the freaking voting booth and like Snapchat that. I don't care if you go half naked, just go and show people that you went and show people that it's cool to do something like that. Show people that it's not lame to care. Show people that it's not dumb. Like, she acts like it's so silly to be educated on things, and she acts like it's so silly. Like, it's so frustrating to me. She acts like it's like a great thing to drop out of high school. And I know that school is not for everybody. I totally get that. High school is for the majority. Like, the majority of kids have the ability to finish high school. They just do. So why are you acting like it's dumb to care about this stuff? Why are you acting like it's stupid? I just don't get it. Like, I think that's the part that bothers me, and that's the part that gets to me, is the just the like blatant disregard and not caring about important topics. And it's not only that she doesn't promote important topics, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers don't necessarily use their platform to promote positive topics. Like, but they're not, a lot of YouTubers don't actively use their platform to promote negative topics. And that's the problem I have with this girl. I'm sure that there are influencers that are doing shady stuff or doing like frowned upon by society stuff. I'm sure that's the case, but they're not promoting it all over social media to their impressionable following. So frankly, I don't care if they're doing that. Like, I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's your life and you are 100% allowed to live it how you want. And that's the other thing people say. People are like, well, it's just her opinion. It's her way of living. What is the tweet I saw a few days ago that I was like, that's such a good tweet? It was like, I'm not just gonna let someone be and let someone live because it's their opinion. Because opinions can be dangerous. And that is so true. We can't just let people slide off on things because it's just Tana or it's just their opinion. And this is kind of a broader topic, I guess. But it's like so frustrating to see that narrative time and time again of like, well, it's just their opinion. And you have to let them have their opinion. It's like freedom of speech. Like, yeah, we have freedom of speech and we have a right to an opinion. But when opinions are dangerous, I also have the right to say, hey, that's a really crappy thing you're saying. That's an uneducated thing you're saying. That's a dangerous thing you're saying. I don't know. I feel like I go off on tangents too much and people are just like, but I just like care. I don't know. I do care. It bothers me when people are just like, I got this new Fenty highlighter. I'm so excited. It just bothers me, I guess. I need a different lip. Hold on. I don't know, friends. Let me know what you think down below. A solution I would love to see is this girl just taking more accountability for her actions. Actually, instead of just constantly giving Twitter apologies and YouTube apologies, to actually learn from them and grow. And if she doesn't, I think we need to actually do something. I don't know. I think it's dangerous to just like be like, oh, I'm sick of Tana. It's just Tana. Like, okay, yeah, it is just Tana, but like we need to do something about it. And I think calling somebody on their BS helps a little bit. I think if another adult were to call me out, it would make me think. And here's the other thing too, is like, I get it. Like I was such a screw up when I was 18, 19, and 20. Like it was like, that was just the worst time for me. Like I like should have died, should have gotten arrested, should have gone to jail. Like so many bad things should have happened to me during that time in my life. And I was so similar to Tana in just the sense that I was so reckless. But I didn't have 3.4 million children following me. And if I did have those types of audience, I don't think I would have just posted that online. Number one, because I'm paranoid about finding a job one day, and I always have been. But number two, it just seems irresponsible. I think the difference here is like a lot of people go through a phase where they do really dumb stuff and they go crazy. And you know, that's like a common thing for people her age. She's not like acting not age appropriately. She's probably a little extreme, but like whatever. That's what happens when you give a 19-year-old $1 million. Like this is what happens. So she's probably like a little bit extreme, but I don't really think that it's like about that. It's not really about the lifestyle she's leading right now. It's the fact that she's promoting it as a positive thing to kids. I don't know if that makes sense, but well, I love you guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. I'm honestly just so happy you're watching me. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!